Welcome to another day of the 21-day Mindset Reboot Challenge. I just have to say, I am so incredibly proud of you for sticking with it for the last several days of the challenge. It takes a lot to keep showing up for yourself and doing the work, and I may have never met you personally, but I am so proud of you and excited that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about forgiveness, and our letting go practice from day 4 was a practice that some people use as a form of forgiveness. I personally don't choose to call it forgiveness. I know it's a little controversial, especially in the personal development space, but I look at forgiveness as something we give to people who ask for it, who apologize or own their mistake. I don't believe it's necessary to forgive somebody in order to let go of a negative story that we have around it. But the most important forgiveness in my eyes is self-forgiveness. So today, we are going to think back on a time that we really hold a lot of blame for something that went wrong. And I'm sure that we've all experienced this because we live in a society that loves to blame victims, right? So when something bad happens, it's always like, well, why did they wear that outfit? Or what were they doing in that neighborhood anyways? Why were they surrounding themselves with those people? Why didn't they X, Y, and Z, right? Like there's always some sort of societal blame around anything bad that happens to people. And I'm here to tell you that that is just not okay. I'm not saying that we shouldn't learn from things that happen to us, but it is not serving you or anybody else for you to hold blame for bad things that have happened to you. So I want us to think back to a time that we have experienced something negative and that we still hold some sort of level of blame or shame around that experience. So this might be a hard experience to think back to, but I'm going to have you pull out your journal. And there's a famous quote by Maya Angelou. I'm probably going to botch it, but it says something like, do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. And the idea behind this is we are all doing our best. And we should be growing and learning and doing better next time. But we should not be holding ourselves to unrealistic expectations. So when other people judge us or we judge ourselves by saying we should have known better. Well, we didn't know better, okay? If it was the first time we've been in a certain situation, sometimes we are too trusting or too naive, or it just doesn't cross our mind that certain things can happen to us. I think for myself when I was younger, I trusted everybody. I was, all about having fun and knowing new people, right? Like I had a very adventurous spirit, which I love, but that adventurous spirit sometimes steered me south when I gave away my trust too easily and things would happen. But does that mean that it's my fault? No. It means that I was learning and growing, which is what humans do. If we think about infants and toddlers, do they pop out of the womb knowing how to walk? Nope. They fall down a million times before they take their first steps, right? That's okay. Like, it doesn't make them stupid. It doesn't make them bad, right? They just have to grow into a place that they can actually take those first steps. And like that, we are all works in progress. We are all growing and learning. We're never going to stop making mistakes, right? You're human. That's okay. I tell people in my life all the time, I'm going to make more mistakes. Like I apologize for this mistake, but I am never going to stop making mistakes. All I can do is try my best. And my best has to be good enough. And if it's not good enough for somebody, it's not. But I'm not going to sit here and blame myself and shame myself or let somebody else blame or shame me because I'm human and make mistakes. So that's not to say we don't have empathy for other people. Of course, when we've done something wrong, when we've made a mistake, the best thing we can do is own it, apologize, ask if there's a way we can make it up to the person. But carrying the blame and shame behind a mistake way after it's passed is not helping you. It's holding you back. We second guess ourselves way too much. If you second guess yourself, if you find yourself apologizing constantly, I'm sorry. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, was I in your way? Did I just bump myself while I was walking by you? Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to get in your way, right? Or, oh, sorry, like we're just constantly apologizing for just being, just for existing. It's ridiculous. So if you find yourself constantly apologizing or you second guess yourself all the time, I would do this, but I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can figure it out. It's too hard. When you find yourself second guessing yourself a lot, there might be some stories that you're holding on to about you not being good enough, about you always make mistakes, or you mess things up, or you trust too many people, or whatever the story is. So today we're going to tackle that a little bit. We're going to think back to a time. Sorry, I feel like I kind of segued in there somewhere, but we're going to think back to a time that we need to forgive ourselves. We need to tell ourselves, dear Stephanie, this thing happened, it sucked, and I forgive you. You did the best you could. Now you know better, and now you would do better. But back then you didn't, and that's okay. That's okay. And release it. Okay, so this letter can be as long or as short as you want it, but go ahead and take a minute and write it all out. Okay, I want you to read yourself the letter after the video. Really take it in, feel your words. Chances are there are many different experiences that you might need to forgive yourself for. There might be things that were absolutely none of your responsibility. If something happened in your childhood that was out of your control, but maybe for some reason you've held on to it for all these years, maybe you write yourself a letter about that and tell yourself, it wasn't my fault. It was not my fault that that thing happened, right? So repeat this practice a few times until you feel like you've really gone through all of the different experiences throughout your life that you've been holding on to some blame or shame around. And give yourself the forgiveness. Maybe that other person will never forgive you. They don't have to. They don't. You have to forgive you. You live with yourself. You go to bed with yourself every night, right? This is your life. Thank you for joining me for this practice. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I also offer a group coaching class called Personal Power with Stephanie Hamatu, and the website should be somewhere on here. And I also take one-on-one coaching clients if there's anyone out there who wants a little more support to actually move the needle forward in their life and achieve their goals. It's been great spending this time with you so far, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Bye.